this small amount of money, which you heard again, nothing illegal was done here.
But is it
Period.
appropriate?
If it's not illegal, then it's appropriate.
Do you think that's okay for tax dollars to be spent on it?
Well, that's the mayor of Baltimore, and that is his defense. Let's get into it. Welcome back to the channel. We covered the Inspector General report on Mayor Brandon Scott's office in the last video. $890,000 in food, flowers, and stadium suites on taxpayer money. So shout out to Fox 45. They tracked him down and pressed him on it. He finally responded. And I need you to watch this carefully because what he said is more revealing than the report itself. Let's dive into it. First, here's the reporter setting up exactly what she's going to ask him before he opens his mouth because context matters. You need to know what she's going to put in front of him before you hear how he responds.
Days after the OIG's report release, we pressed Mayor Scott Monday on how his office is spending tax dollars.
How do you expect taxpayers in Baltimore City to be okay with how your office is spending their money? And do you believe that you owe them an apology for how their dollars are being spent?
And thank you for your question, Mackenzie. I think we have to be very clear about this, right? We're not talking about money that was spent inappropriately. As I said to your station last week, we're talking about people who skip protocol points, right?
So you see right here, she asked him two direct questions. Do you expect taxpayers to be okay with this? And do you owe them an apology? He said, thank you for your question, and didn't answer either question. Not one word whether the taxpayers should be okay with this, not one word about an apology. He pivoted to immediately, we're talking about people who skipped the protocol. This is called a non-answer, and I need you to recognize it because politicians do this all the time, and people let them slide. He said, and I want you to hear this clearly, we're not talking about money. Bro, the Inspector General report literally is all about the money. It's a financial investigation. $890,000 in documented spending, $167,000 with zero approval. That is the money. That's the whole thing. That's the only reason why we're here. But here's the real fumble. He says we're talking about people who skipped the protocol.
We're talking about people who skip protocol points, right?
So now is he saying it's his staff fault? The same staff that he hired? The same staff operating under his $24.7 million budget with only one auditor watching 200 credit cards? He built that system, he ran that office, and the moment receipts start to surface, he points at people below him. It looks like he's throwing people under the bus. That's what you do when you know the receipts are bad and you need someone else to hold them. And notice what he never said. He never said that the spending was wrong. He never said that it shouldn't have happened. He never said Baltimore residents deserve better. He just said people skipped protocol. That's it. That's his entire response to $890,000 of your money gone. Taxpayer money gone. But it gets better. And better, I mean worse, because she pushed him on those skyboxes in particular. And this is where he just really fumbles everything.
You guys are focusing in on like the skyboxes, right? The reality is that the city of Baltimore has been spending money on skyboxes at Camden Yard since I was 8 years old, and at M&T Bank Stadium since I was 13 years old.
While the mayor says the boxes were used to celebrate city employees like teachers and the Department of Public Works employees, the IG report uncovering the spending was done during the same time frame when DPW solid waste workers lacked access to water and Gatorade during the summer months.
A really terrible response by the mayor, but this is what it is. He says the city of Baltimore has been spending money on skyboxes since I was 8 years old. So let's sit with that for a second, because that is generally one of the wildest defenses I have heard a sitting mayor give on camera. His defense for spending $52,000 of taxpayer money at stadium suites has been happening before he was even in office, before he can drive. He's been mayor since 2020. And his answer to, is this appropriate, is essentially, well, it was like this when I got here. This is the total opposite of accepting accountability. This is a man telling you to your face that he saw a problem and kept the problem going. But Fox 45 did not let that land without context. And this is the part I need you to really hear, because this is the receipt inside the receipt. While the mayor's office was spending $52,000 on food and beverages in a stadium suite, celebrating with skyboxes and crab balls and fresh fruit trays, DPW, solid waste workers, the people collecting Baltimore's trash in the summer heat, did not have access to water or Gatorade. In the same time frame, the same city budget, the same mayor who said the skyboxes were for city workers like DPW employees. Those DPW employees were working without water while someone was in the mayor's suite, was eating crab balls and demanding a fresh fruit tray daily. This is pretty bad optics. It's not just a perception problem. This is documented, time-stamped, receipt-attached failure of priorities. And he stood in front of that camera and told the taxpayers it's been going that way since he was 8 years old. Like, that makes it all better. That's why I hope the taxpayers keep the pressure on. I hope Fox 45 does the same thing too, because this is exactly the kind of thing they count on people forgetting. And real quick, if you found this video and you haven't been subscribed yet, this is what we do. If you're interested in this kind of video, don't forget to hit like and subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. So we're gonna continue. After the skybox answer, he just kept going. It's just embarrassing.
We're not talking about misuse of funds, and you're talking about a fraction of the mayor's office budget, even though folks are trying to make it look like this was something done illegal. This is not that. We're going to continue to operate the same way that we have in the city of Baltimore, and that's with the utmost integrity.
We're going to continue to operate with the utmost integrity. That sentence right there, after everything we just walked through, after $890,000 in food and flowers, after $52,000 spent at the stadium, after a farewell party for a guy who never left, after suing the inspector general to block her investigation, after the DPW employees had no water while his suite had the daily fruit tray, this man spoke into the mic and said the words, utmost integrity. And then he says, you're only talking about a fraction of the mayor's office budget. So let's be really clear about what he just did there. He is trying to make $890,000 sound small by measuring it against a $24.7 million budget. But that $24.7 million budget, it was $5.2 million 10 years ago. It has jumped considerably. His office now has 118 staffers. 10 years ago, it was only 39. So the reason this $890,000 looks like a fraction because it is built on an operation so damn large that almost $1 million of unimproved spending becomes, I guess, a rounding error. That's not a defense. That's the receipts for a completely different problem. And folks are trying to make it look like something was done. Who is the folks? You mean the inspector general? You mean the Baltimore residents standing out at City Hall in tents who told Fox 45 on camera that this was wasteful and alarming? Those are not political opponents. Those are the people paying the taxes. And he just called their concerns an attempt to make it look like something was done. This is completely mind-blowing. So I need you to stay with me for one more clip because the best part, the absolute receipt of this entire story is what happens when they ask him about Marvin James. Because she asked him directly about the $4,000 farewell party for a guy who never left, who was still making $190,000 a year, right to his face.
I know that your office spent nearly $4,000 on a goodbye party for somebody who never left and is still making almost $200,000.
Yeah, I think, Mackenzie, we know that you guys want to make this out to be something that is not. Again, it's not just the city of Baltimore. The state of Maryland has skyboxes and have had them forever. And again, you guys you're harping on this small amount of money, which you heard again. Nothing illegal was done here.
But is it appropriate?
If it's not illegal, then it's appropriate. My response is what I gave you earlier.
Is Marvin's party okay?
No comment on his aide's party, especially since James is still earning a $190,000 salary annually. In this report, the Inspector General also noted that the findings of this latest product would have been limited given the current restrictions the mayor's office has put on her office's ability to get access to certain information.
Perfect. Just perfect. No comment. That's it. That's what he gave her. No comment. She put it right there in front of him. Nearly $4,000 went to a going away party for a guy who decided not to leave, who is still in City Hall right now, collecting $190,000 a year from the same taxpayers who funded his party. And the mayor of Baltimore said, no comment. Run what I said earlier. Here's what that tells you. Everything that he has a line for, the skyboxes, well, they've been happening since I was 8. The spending, well, it was just a fraction of the budget. The protocol violations, some people skip the steps. He had something for all of it. Even if the answers were bad, he had answers. But Marvin James, nothing. Because there is no answer for that one. There is no way you can spin a story for throwing a $4,000 tax-funded farewell party for a man who is sitting in the next office making nearly $200,000 a year. That one just sits there as exactly what it is. And the IG still doesn't have full access to his records. She's in court right now fighting for documents from MOSE, his Office of Neighborhood Safety and Engagement, the office he bragged about, the office he doesn't want her looking at. Nothing illegal was done here. is not the same as nothing was done here. And a mayor who can't tell the difference between those two things is a mayor who needs to be watched very carefully. We're not done with this story, not even close. We will continue to follow what's going on here. Hopefully the Inspector General can get more access to exactly what the amount of money that this guy is spending. And the fact that the mayor responded the way he did, talking about it's not illegal, it's just a fraction of budget, it's been going around, this been happening since he was 8 years old. It shows a lot about who he is and what is going on. This mayor built an office 5 times larger than his predecessor, who spent nearly $1 million on food and celebrations, who blocked a watchdog trying to investigate him. And when the receipts came out, called it a fraction and walked away. This is the kind of mayor that you have here. But let me know what you guys think about this story in the comments below. Thank you for taking time to watch this video, and I'll see you guys in the next video.